Avec des millions de fans à travers le monde entier, découvre l'impressionnante qualité des artistes africains. Il est prévu que les revenus annuels du streaming musical passeront de 92,9 millions de dollars en 2021 à 314,6 millions de dollars d'ici 2026. Pourtant, la majorité des revenus provient toujours d'une minorité de pays africains. Toutefois, il y a davantage de revenus générés en dehors du continent par les acteurs qui possèdent les droits, les plateformes technologiques, les labels de musique et les entreprises de management d'artistes. Ce panel exposera des propositions quant à ce que nous devons faire pour lever les barrières existantes, afin de renforcer le développement de l'écosystème musical africain. Une discussion sur la manière dont les genres musicaux africains dominent l'échiquier mondial du divertissement et sur ce pourquoi accroître l'investissement dans l'écosystème musical africain est fondamental pour bénéficier économiquement aux artistes et aux entreprises africaines et aussi pour soutenir une croissance durable du secteur.
But what we do know is that the biggest music markets are outside of Africa. But in the 2020 IFPI report, Africa, I think, was the second or third, somebody can correct me, fastest growing market in the world, right? I think for this year, when the report comes out next year, we'll find that is probably in the top 2 fastest growing markets in the world. So, although our numbers are currently small from a revenue perspective, the growth in Africa is competing and is performing better than other markets globally. And that's a very important point. And the context of that in this conversation is that the truth is they're not just listening to Afrobeats from West Africa. They're consuming music from Africa as a whole. They're consuming catalog. They're consuming Brenda Fassie, Hugh Masekela. They're consuming Simon Chimbetu from Zimbabwe and other artists from all over the continent. So it's a great time to be making African music because more people are interested in what's coming from Africa than people that are trying to find the next songs from Europe or from America. And that beat has been, it's been a part of the African story. And that's the way that I think we should always celebrate the definition of Afrobeat. You're right, it's not meant to be a West African thing, it's meant to be a Pan-African thing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But if you move to Afrobeats, let's just be fair and let's tell it how it is. Nigeria is killing Afrobeats. They made it a globally accepted sound.
100%.
Credit is due where credit is due. Afrobeats, it came out of Nigeria and West Africa, so Ghana as well. But the Nigerian artists have played a huge role in getting the rest of the world at a youth level to connect with African music, right? I think Amapiano has now done an amazing job of telling another story.
Yeah.
And I also think, though, we mustn't forget what was there before Afrobeats, right? Because before Afrobeats, you had people like Oskido doing Digong, Kwaito, and that traveled, right? And that was, although we didn't have digital platforms to help it travel easily, there were people in pockets around the world that were playing Kwaito music, and it was their way of connecting back to Africa. And after Kwaito, you had house music, and there was mid-tempo that was slowed down and given its flavor that's now come back, and so I think Afrobeat, that's the one story, Afrobeats is another story, but there's a whole other world that lies in between those two labels.
L'Afrique regorge en abondance et de façons de talents musicaux. Néanmoins, il est nécessaire que nous créions un environnement entièrement inclusif, autonomisant et financièrement durable pour la musique sur tout le continent.